Hello. Yeah. Hello. Told you. I predicted it, didn't I?
You did.
Well, what we're going to say really is that it's not that big a deal, I suppose, really. Is that what we're going to say?
Isn't it that big a deal, Kev?
Well, people are comparing it to Brexit, aren't they? Which is an interesting thing to do. And you can say the same things about it, but there was a logical argument for voting for Brexit, as well as some idiots voting for something different. I don't think there was really a logical argument for voting for Trump, really. And he actually didn't get many votes. Clinton got more votes and whatever, and still won. So he got less votes than the previous Republican guy, apparently. So not actually many people voted for him. So the answer is really voter apathy, and so it is a
basically
protest vote.
Clinton didn't get her vote out, and Trump did.
Yeah, and then you can say the same thing. It's neoliberalism has failed. That's the real problem. Inequality. The globalisation has benefited some people and screwed over everyone else. It wasn't just poor uneducated voting for him, though. Whereas Brexit was more pronounced in that most of the Brexit vote came from the uneducated. It was more spread out with Trump, I think, was what people were saying. But I think they're saying the same thing. They're not voting for Trump because they think he's clever.
Well, we had a comment that he was a marketing genius and just due way.
Do we?
And we laughed. Yeah. On our videos. Don't we feel stupid?
Mm-hmm. I predicted it. Because historically that's what they get. The silliest, the comedy character, the TV star, the comedian, is the one that always wins in America. The biggest star. So it isn't that surprising, really.
Yeah, but his issue. Yeah, there were very, very few people predicting a Trump victory beyond Trump. Even the Republicans, they thought it was they're just going to have to write this one off and think about how they're going to come back next time and really look at themselves quite deeply, because the demographics are shifting away from them, and they're looking at a long period in isolation. Well, he goes and wins the bugger.
Yeah. Yeah, but he didn't win. Hillary Clinton lost. That's the argument, really, isn't it? Remember that Trump is a protest vote. No, it's the people who have lost the argument. That's the people shouting on social media and whatever. They're angry because they can't win the argument. They've lost. Racism was wrong. Saying that about women is wrong. I'm angry and I want to fight back, so I'm going to vote for Donald Trump to get you. I win. But obviously, it's got to be a minority, isn't it, of idiots? You can't have 25% of them voting are complete idiots. But it's an anti-establishment vote, even though they're voting for someone as part of the establishment. It was the only option.
Yeah. So there's a lot of discussion about how Bernie Sanders would have fared.
Yeah.
Given the outcome, and a lot of people are saying, well, Bernie Sanders would have trounced him. Would that have happened?
If it was an anti-establishment vote, Donald Trump isn't anti-establishment. He is the establishment, whereas Bernie Sanders is genuinely anti-establishment. So surely Trump wouldn't have had that position. He would have been in the position as the rich, spoilt brat, and Sanders is in the position of actual anti-establishment. Look, this is crap. We need to change it. Whereas obviously with Clinton, it was a completely different dynamic, wasn't it?
But because Bernie Sanders was never considered as a serious contender, he wasn't given the attention by the media, and if he had that kind of attention, would that have been positive? Yeah. Or would that have been
like Jeremy
Corbyn-esque?
Yeah, it would have been, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been very hostile. And could Sanders have pushed through that to actually...
That's the problem, isn't it? That, Trump got all that exposure by saying offensive things. Yeah. Just like Nigel Farage, how did he get on the TV all the time? By saying stupid things.
The worrying thing for me is not so much Donald Trump, because whether you like it... Well, the assessment is a buffoon, yeah? And I haven't seen anything to suggest otherwise, other than he's won the presidency, I suppose.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
So, has he got the capacity to be really, really bad? Yeah? I'm not sure, but the fact is, he is an outsider. He's not really a political figure. So he hasn't got, the people around him. So now there's a massive vacuum that's got to be filled. He's got to get people in to support him during his presidency.
Yeah.
Who's going to do that?
Yeah.
And it's who he lets in. That's the real scary thing.
Yeah.
Because they're the people that are actually going to be
making the decisions, because he won't.
So it's a bit like Dick Cheney and George Bush. Dick Cheney was actually the guy making all the decisions. George Bush was there to take the flak back.
Yeah. George Bush was Darth Vader. Yeah. But the what's so entertaining about it and seemed so obvious after he'd won was that, his victory speech, he went back on all the crap he was saying. In his victory speech, he said, "Oh, Hillary's worked very hard. She's a hard worker for the last season." Well, what?
And it was
You should be in jail. And the next day, the stuff about Muslims disappeared from his website. He's not going to do any of that.
I did think actually the one silver lining I immediately thought was Hillary Clinton going to go to jail then?
Oh yeah, which would be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be quite good. Yeah. But yeah, he even said after the birth of he went to meet President Obama and said it was an honour.
Yeah.
President Obama, the guy he accused of being not a legitimate American and all that.
He's Kenyan and he's a Muslim. I don't think he said it, but there's been Republicans doing interviews saying the wall, just a metaphor.
Metaphorical wall.
So they don't do any of that. He played a populist business position. How do you win? Well, you've got to sell this crap and get on TV and and then you'll tap into this discontent. Doesn't matter what you do when you get the. And that's not any different from anyone else. They all say different things in the primaries. They say different things during the election, and they do different things when they actually get elected.
Yeah.
So,
even on this side of the pond, you hear people who actually supported Trump, and when they're challenged with this, he's going to build a wall, or he's not going to build a wall. He said he would. And also, well, he wasn't ever going to do that anyway. But you didn't actually believe he was going to do that, sort of thing. So he's going to get an awful lot of slack from the people who voted for him, which is a tad unfair, really, because if you think about it, if Hillary got in, she would have been absolutely, her conduct during office would be minutely assessed compared to what she said before. But Donald Trump's got a bit of a free rein. He can do whatever he wants, basically.
Yeah, that's true, because he's just an idiot, isn't he? So he can do what he likes.
Which is actually a cause for hope. Because if he actually did what he said he was going to do, life would be really tough.
But that's the point, and the 1930s Germany comparison and all that. It isn't because Trump is a fascist, because he hasn't got the intelligence actually to be that. That's not the point. The point is he was playing a populist position to get into power. We didn't know what he's going to do when he gets there.
Yeah. But
the answer is really, what should I do? I don't know. His body language changed. In fact, his victory speech, I saw the look in his eyes was similar to Boris's look when they lost. They won Brexit. Well, he lost really, but he won Brexit. This sort of cat in headlights. Oh shit!
What am I going to do now?
But the Obama meeting, his body language is so different. Normally he's and it wasn't like that at all. It was and that's the thing really. And I'm finding on social media lots of people saying, "Oh, it's a disaster," overreacting really, and etc. etc. But the Trump fans. It's a minority of Trump fans. It's the vocal idiots, isn't it? They're more angry. They seem very angry about something. Is it because they've realised he's not going to do any of that, or is it because now he's in, they can't be outsiders fighting against the system because he's in?
Yeah.
Or I don't know what it is. It's quite funny.
Yeah, it is quite funny. There is obviously a serious side to it. So I mean, people have characterised the people who voted for Trump as misogynist and racists. Now, it's obvious that not everyone, as you say,
it's 25%, isn't it?
There's a certain amount of it, is that. But there will be those people who voted for Brexit, who are racist.
Yeah.
Again, it's not everyone who voted for Brexit is racist.
Yeah, but it's easier to justify, isn't it?
You would say that all racists, if you were going to look at a Venn diagram, you would say the racists pretty much vote for Brexit,
Yeah.
And they're gaining in confidence,
Yes, this is
the issue, So Brexit and Trump, they would say, actually, everyone thinks like us, and it's with the vacuum on the left, not there to balance that because of the division and the vacuity of the incoming leadership in America, and to a certain extent over here, the leadership over here is very wishy-washy at the moment.
Yeah, we don't really know what it is, do we?
The situation is there for something very serious. To happen, So we've got to be on our guard,
and that's why they're reporting on KKK having a victory rally and all this stuff. And the problem with the response was saying, "Stop talking about it now. He's won now. You're not allowed to talk about it." Just like Brexit. Remember the next day, why are you talking about Brexit? We've won now. No, it's supposed to analyse it. And it's dangerous. It's the KKK will get loads of exposure out of this, and they believe people agree with them, and that's dangerous.
Yeah. And the newspapers over here, I think we talked about the decision by the judges last week, and the coverage from the newspapers, and the lack of response from the government to defend the judges was, you can see it's all there. Everything's lining up now for a very,
it's really bad,
very, very scary time. But on the flip side, everyone's saying about Donald Trump's relationship with Putin, Yeah. Oh no, Putin actually makes conflict between Russia and the West a lot less likely.
Yeah, which is good.
Which is actually quite good. It's not so good for people in Syria. That's
Or what is it, Crimea or whatever it is as well. That stuff. Yeah.
But maybe if there's a relationship between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, maybe you can talk him down.
Yeah, the aides, not the sort of macho idiots at the top, but the actual aides can interact and work together and forget the leaders can go off and drive around in golf carts and all that business.
So we'll see on that. But it could be positive, it could be bad. You've just got to hope that it's positive. Just got to hope.
Yeah. There was this is typical, a great article in The Guardian about Bernie Sanders' response, and lost and just tucked away, one paragraph in the middle of it was Jeremy Corbyn's response. It's a UK paper.
Yeah.
We're more interested in hearing what Bernie Sanders has got to say. Who isn't anything. He's just a senator. The actual leader of the opposition over here. But yeah, and he said basically, it is the declining middle class of America. It's the establishment economics, all that stuff. And Trump said good things. He said, I'm going to invest in infrastructure and all this business, and he'll raise the national debt actually, but that's what they need.
Create some good jobs.
Yeah,
skills for people,
and that's good. Now all the other stuff about punching Muslims and kicking women in the teeth or whatever he wanted to do, I don't know. Not that. The other stuff, the good stuff. But I think the sensible Trump people are saying, well, none of that meant anything. It was just publicity. He's just an idiot. That's not what he's actually going to do.
Well, I think someone made the observation the other day that his first TV debate against Hillary Clinton, he fell flat on his face.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days later, he just said something extremely controversial, and it took all the attention away from the debate and onto what he was saying that was controversial, which played in his favour. Maybe he is a marketing genius. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's probably not him personally.
Yeah.
It's obviously calculated, possibly as a response to what happened with Brexit.
Mm-hmm.
You paint 350 million on your bus. Doesn't matter if it's true. Nobody thinks it's true. Doesn't matter. 350 million NHS. Yeah.